Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. Currently we are reading The Nectar of Instruction by Srila Rupa Goswami and we are on the 11th shloka. Today we will go through the summary once, not more than 15 to 20 minutes. Then we will finish the shloka 11 and from tomorrow we will start the Isha Upanishad, okay? So let's start our session by offering the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Saksharam Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayyam Dadatin Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगु लंगायते गिरि यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्री गुरु दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम् हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's go through the summary. Like first four shloka we are going to recite. You can raise your hand so everyone will get the chance to recite the shlokas. Hare Krishna. Yes, Muttamanikam Prabhu, you can start with the first shloka.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam juvva vegam udarabhupastha vegam etan vegan yusageda diraham sarvam abhimam prithivim shishyat. Hare Krishna.
Haribol Prabhuji. So yes, so in a preface, what Srila Rupa Goswami said to us. Anyone remember in a preface what Srila Rupa Goswami says, or what Srila Prabhupada instructed us? So our advancement in a Krishna consciousness, it depends on our attitude. Okay, Srila Rupa Goswami has given us the 10 instruction, but are we following that? Like when we are following the instruction, when we are taking the medicine, then only we are going to cure. And like when we are when we are following the instruction, then only we are going to advance in our spiritual life. Okay, so yes, what is the first instruction? That like we have to tolerate the urge to speak, and urge to speak means we are doing the Gramin Katha, like everyone likes to speak, even it is like a fool number one, Prabhupada says, then also he want to speak, he want to act like he is very intelligent, but we have to tolerate the urge to speak. We shouldn't speak anything material. When we opening our mouth, like we should glorify the Krishna. Okay, so we can use this, we can control the urge to speak, simply speaking the Krishna Katha, only speaking the glories of Krishna. And second is the mind's demand. So how we can control the mind's demand? So like we can control by engaging our mind in Krishna's service. Like constantly we are thinking, oh, how can I please Krishna? How can I serve Krishna more better? In this way we can control the demands of a mind. And the actions of anger, we can engage anger in Krishna's service. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says you have to be a tolerant than a tree. But like when it comes to the personal dishonor and disrespect, then you have to be a very tolerant. But like when someone disrespect the Krishna and he's a pure devotees, then you can use your anger, like a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used the anger like to the Jagai Madai who committed the offense towards the Nityananda Prabhu. Even the Hanuman like use his anger like against the Ravana because like he offended the mother Sita. So in this way we can engage our anger in Krishna consciousness. Then urges of a tongue, belly, genitals. Srila Prabhupada says ki, like the tongue, belly, genitals, they are in a straight line. So simply by taking the prasadam and chanting, we can control the tongue. Even though like we say in a like a Mahaprasada Govindana, Krishna is so merciful, he has given his footstuff. So by simply taking the grains like offered to the Krishna, like we can control our tongue. And when our tongue is controlled, then our belly and genitals automatically get control. So the one who can tolerate these six things, then he can make the disciples all over the world. And it's like, okay, it's not like even if you don't want to make the disciples, but just to advance in your spiritual life, you have to tolerate these six things. Yes, Vinod Prabhu, you can recite the second verse.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Atyahara priyasa cha prajalpo nimagare jnana sangascha lolam cha sadvid bhaktir vinashyate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Prabhuji. So yes, so okay, now like the all things has a like a do's and don'ts. So these are the don'ts that what Srila Rupa Goswami is saying in a second instruction that like if you do these six things, then your spiritual life will be spoiled. Like first is a atyahara, means like eating more than necessary and collecting funds more than required. So like eating more than necessary, even if you are taking the prasadam, if you eat more, then like you will develop the lethargy. And like when you are lethargic, when you are sleepy, and at that condition you don't even able to do your material duties, what to speak about the spiritual duties. So we should eat less means whatever food is required to maintain our body. And second is collecting more funds than required. Okay, as we give the example now, we are working so hard, like we are people are doing the 2 or 3 shift, but they don't have the time for their families, they don't have the time like even to enjoy what they have earned. So like okay, collecting is okay when you are collecting it for the Krishna, like you can engage your wealth in a Krishna service, but that too not on the not by the compromising your sadhana. Like okay, whatever work you are doing, but there should be 3-4 hours for the Krishna. This is the minimum time. Then second is over endeavoring for the mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. So like yes, this is the prayasa. If you want more, then you have to work more for that. Okay. Then third is a talking unnecessary about the mundane subject matters. So this is the prajalpa. So it is also come under association, right? Because when you associate with the material people, you will start the gossiping. But like what is the use of that gossip? Because what Shastra says that when we speak more words, so the more words we speak, our lifespan is going to reduce. More we eat the food, our lifespan is going to reduce. So when we are eating, we have to accept only the prasadam, and that too in a limit. And when it comes to talk, when we speak the Krishna katha, then our lifespan is increased, not the reduce. Okay, so we don't have to do this prajalpa, because even if you are doing the gossip, your good karma is going to that people, and their bad karma is coming to us. So we shouldn't do this gramming katha or a prajalpa. We should always glorify the Krishna. And four is the practicing scripture rules and regulation only for the sake of following them, not for the sake of a spiritual advancement, or a rejecting rules and regulation of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. So okay, people want to collect more, so they are over endeavoring more. So and for over endeavoring, they're also speaking with the material peoples, and they are doing the prajalpa. And when there are the obstacles, Hare Krishna Vinod Prabhu, you have to take care of your mic, okay? So yes, there will be many obstacles in your when you want to more and more. Okay, so like so that like you go to the God and we pray, okay, this thing is come in between my sense gratification, can you remove his, like even like many like there are artharthis, the many people come because like they can remove the obstacle from their sense gratification in the Krishna consciousness. So like they are simply practicing so that like their problems will get solved, and then again they could go for the sense gratification, but this is not the ultimate goal. Okay. And like second is for the, this is for the asana, rejecting rules and regulation of the scriptures and like working independently or whimsically. Okay, we are not rejecting, but like we are acting whimsically. Okay, like Prabhupada has instructed like you should wake up early morning, but you say like what happens like if I even wake up at 8 a.m. So, but Prabhupada, like we are not following the Prabhupada's instruction as it is. We are manipulating it. So, like like when we follow the instruction of Prabhupada as it is, then you will get the result as the Prabhupada said. But when you follow the instruction of Prabhupada whimsically, then you will get the whimsical results. So, yes, then five is associating with the worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. This is a Jana Sangha also, na? So, like, why association is like very important? Because with the association, our desire and ambitions come. So, like, when you are associate with the like too much materially like motivated person, you will also get the same desires. And like then like what we have here in our last book, that like the Prahlad Maharaj says us this human life is very rare, and even like we read in yesterday's purpose, like the purpose of the human life is to go back to the Godhead, purify our consciousness, develop the love for Krishna. But like when we are too much attached to these material things, then like we are going to lose this opportunity. And six is the being greedy and for the mundane achievement. So, like when we do the Jana Sangha, then love comes. Like you become the greedy for the mundane things. You want more and more, and like when you don't get, then you become frustrated. Yes, Sharmila Mataji, you can.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sharmila Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Sudha Mataji, can you recite third verse? Okay, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. उत्साहा निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति. Hare Krishna.
Haribol Mataji. So yes, so these are the do's. Like if you these six things are favorable for the execution of a pure devotional service. Everyone say like, what is your goal? Oh, I want to achieve the pure devotional service. But when like question come, are you following the instruction? Then like we turn our face. So no, like if you want the pure devotional service, then like you have to follow this instruction of a Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay. So like what is the first is a being enthusiastic. Like utsaha. Like utsaha means what Prabhupada says, enthusiasm is action. Like you say like I don't have interest in Mangalarti, like I feel bored or like I don't get the time, because you are not enthusiastic, you are not acting, like you don't have the taste for reading. The solution is simple. That's simply you have to read the books. You have to like dedicate the fixed time or like fixed time slot for that period. So like enthusiasm is action. When you act on a daily basis, then like within the 1 month you will develop the taste. Okay. So like enthusiasm come like when you do the activities daily. Okay. Then second is a endeavoring with the confidence. So like yes, this confidence confidence is avashya rakshit by Krishna. Okay, whatever like even the Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says like I will give you what you are lacking, and what you have I will protect it. So like you have the faith, you should have the faith in Krishna. Even I'm the preaching the mission of a Krishna and like a Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then like he will supply all the like required things for that. Like you should have the faith. Okay, with the the third is the being patient. So like we learn the word kalena. Okay, I am following the instruction as it is. So like with the time I will become a perfect. So you should be patient. Today I chant a 16 round, next day I don't become the pure devotee. It will take the time. Okay, and we should be, that's why we should be patient. And fourth is acting according to the regulative principles, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So like we have to follow the 9 processes of a devotional service. Then 5 is the abandoning the association of a non-devotees. So like yes, this has repeated na? So because this is important, so we have to be very careful about our association, not only just a physical association, but like whatever media you watch on your mobile phone, whatever message you read, whatever books you read, to what people you are hearing, everything is important, everything is association. That's why we suggest now you have to keep the small book copy on your text, like when you are working, like so like whatever 5-10 minutes get, and like when you start the overthinking, you simply have to take out the like a Srila Prabhupada book. Even you can read the one line or one paragraph, then like you will again go back to the like your work. So like we have the pure devotee with us, we have the Prabhupada with us in a form of his book, but we are not taking association. We always have a Krishna with us in a form of a sound incarnation, but we don't have the faith. Like yes, Krishna is a present. Like when we get the purified, then we can understand. Like yes, Krishna is a present there, and Krishna is a listening. When I call him the Krishna through like a holy name, Krishna is a coming. So yes, so like we can associate with the pure devotees, and we can directly associate with the Lord Krishna through his holy name, but we are not associating. So like these things this thing we can change. Then 6 is a tat karma pravartanat, following the footsteps of a previous acharyas. So like following the footsteps, it doesn't mean that like you have to act like a Goswamis, okay? Like you know like you are only taking very less prasadam, that too in like within the 2 to 3 days, or like you are staying under the one tree at a one night. So no, like following footsteps means we have to follow the instruction of them. And Prabhupada has like given the instruction, like they are simply passing the instruction from this like one acharya to the further through the Guru Parampara. So yes, the association is very important. And second is like the taking prasadam. You have to accept only the prasadam, that too made by the devotee, not by the non-devotee. Okay. Yes, Sharmila Mataji,
Hare
can you
Krishna.
recite
You
the
can
text
hear
for?
me? You can hear me,
Yes, Mataji,
Mataji.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dadati pratigrahanati guhyam akyati prachyati bhungte bhojayate chaiva shadvidam priti lakshanam. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol Mataji. So yes, so in a text for like till now what we learned that like association is very important. Like either it is a physical, emotional, like whatever whatever kind of association, digital or physical, like so association is important. So okay, till now we come to know like a jana sanga tyagat means we have to give up the association of the material peoples. So like but the most of the time we are surrounded by this material people. But like okay, we can hear their talk, like we can speak simply say by saying the good morning and how are you, we can ask them, but we don't have to give our heart, like whatever things they are saying, like inside we should chant the Krishna's name, and like that thing shouldn't enter in your heart. Okay. So yes, and like we should associate with the pure devotees, like by following their instruction, by reading the Srila Prabhupada books. So okay, like in what way we can interact with the devotees? So like it is given by Srila Goswami in this way, like by offering the gifts in a charity, accepting the charitable gifts. So yes, like what kind of gifts you should share? Like this gift should not be material; it should be spiritual. Like you can give the books of Srila Prabhupada, like biographies of the pure devotees. You can give the if they have the deities, you can give them the flowers. Like you have to give some things which can be used in a Krishna's service. Okay. Like this gift should not be material. Then revealing one's mind in a confidence. So okay, like it is very important to you should have the devotee friend to whom we can reveal our mind. Like some things, like there will be some thoughts, there will be some problems in our personal life, in our devotional life, that you don't want to chant, or like your mind is not stable, like in a chanting it's distracting. These things should be, we should discuss with our spiritual friends, because at the time we if we at the time already we are miserable, and like if you allow ourselves to with that miserable mind, like the situation is going to it's going to more disease. So in that condition, it's better to take the advice of a devotee friend. Like then at that time, like he can pull out of that situation. Okay. Then next is the inquiring confidentially. Okay, when devotees are meeting, they shouldn't gossip about the material things. When devotees are coming, like they should inquire confidentially. So like what we have to inquire, oh, how I can grow my business, or how to handle this and how to handle that. No, like we have to inquire about the Krishna. Oh, how can I please Krishna? Okay, I'm rendering this service. How can I increase my service? How can I increase the quality of that service? How can I increase my round? How can I start reading the Prabhupada books? How can I be absorbed in reading Srila Prabhupada books? Even like you can ask about, like, I don't understand this Leela. Can you please explain me? So like you should inquire about the Krishna consciousness. You don't have to inquire about the material things. Then what is the use? Like even if you are coming in a temple and you are watching the reels, like you are hearing all the nonsense stuff, you are reading all the nonsense magazines, and like when you are meeting, you are doing the gossip of the material things. Then how can you say that you are the devotee? We have to be very careful about this. Okay. Then accepting the prasadam and the offering the prasadam, prasadam, there will be some people in starting they won't take the Krishna consciousness, because to take the Krishna consciousness, even to speak the Krishna consciousness, you require some pious karma, you require some pious account, you require the currency for that. And this people don't have that, by giving the prasadam, like they will get some pious activities, so indirectly you can give them the prasadam. Okay. So like when they have the enough pious activities, then they can come to the Krishna consciousness, and like we can pray for them. Okay. And also we see na in this purport also, we see that okay, when you are preaching in starting, you don't have to tell the people that you have to follow the four regulative principles. Even starting, if you start telling them like you have to follow this four regulative principles, they will run away. Okay. So in starting, you simply have to tell them, like you have to read the one shloka of a Bhagavad Gita, and you have to chant the one round. Okay. Because when they read, when they chant, their consciousness get purified, they get some pious karma. So when they have the enough pious karma, then Krishna present inside everyone's heart. So he start instructing them, oh, you don't have to eat the meat, and you shouldn't drink, or you shouldn't speak in this way. So in this way, when one's consciousness get purified, then he is able to take the instruction. Okay. So in starting, you don't have to tell everyone you have to follow this principle, that principle. Starting, simply tell them to read one shloka and read chant one round. Okay. So yes, these are the Preeti Lakshanam. By doing these 6 things, then we can share the love between one devotee to another devotee. Okay. So yes, like so okay, we have to honor the devotees. These 6 things, we can do these are the 6 Preeti Lakshanams. Now, we have to differentiate between the pure, who are the Kanishta Adhikari, who are the Madhyama Adhikari, and who are the Uttama Adhikari. These are the types of devotees. Okay, and how we have to interact with them. So, for the Kanishta Adhikari, who simply start chanting, and what are the qualities of Kanishta Adhikari? He simply chants, and he have the faith in the deity of Krishna, but he don't know what is the importance of the devotees. So he don't know how he have to behave with the devotees. So okay, we should mentally honor. At least he has taken the shelter of Krishna. So for the Kanishta Adhikari, we have to mentally honor them. And second is the Madhyama Adhikari. So Madhyama Adhikari, he knows that who is the Krishna, who are the what is the exalted position of a devotees, and how he interact with the ignorant people. He who are the atheist or who are the materialistic, he simply ignores them. Okay. And who are the envious, he simply ignores them. And for the devotees, he make the friendship with the devotees. Okay. And from the senior acharyas, he received the instruction. And for the neophytes, he is very compassionate. He guides the neophytes by telling them, okay, you have to by pushing them for the chanting, pushing them for the sevas. He is always there to guide you. Okay. So these are the symptoms of a Madhyamadhikari. And what to speak about the Uttamadhikari, because we are not on the platform of a Uttamadhikari. And what Prabhupada write in this purport is that unless one become a devotee, he cannot appreciate the devotees. Okay. So okay, like we cannot appreciate the pure devotees because we are not on a platform of a pure devotee. Okay. So like pure devotee, look, he's strictly following rules and regulation. At the same time, he's absorbed in a transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And what is the most important is that like he's 24/7. He's a thinking and a planning in this way and acting in this way, that how he can pre-reach the mission of a Lord. Okay, so this is the sign of a pure devotee. We can see this uh, in our senior devotees. And like what to speak about the Prabhupada has dedicated his entire life for that. Okay. And we also seen that like at a stage of Madhyama Adhikari, he may gone through the Harinam initiation or a Brahman initiation. And what Prabhupada says, one who become very sincere in his sadhana, then he is allowed to take the Diksha. Okay. So we have to be very sincere. And like it is very important to take the diksha, because like whatever spiritual activities you are doing before the diksha, like you are simply accumulating some pious karma so that you can take the diksha. And you can on the which day you are taking diksha, from that your spiritual life starts. Okay. So in six verse, what Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, that okay, when we see the pure devotees, like we can see our bona fide spiritual masters, we can say they may have some bodily deformations, or like there will be some bodily defects, but it is very offensive to see the faults in the devotees, look on, or what is the color of his skin, what is his height, and from which country he is coming, what is his caste. And like when we start seeing the pure devotee from the material point of view, it is an offense. And like why this offense is called as a hatimata, because when an elephant enter in a very nicely trimmed garden, he is going to destroy, this mad elephant going to destroy entire garden. So when we commit the offense against the pure devotee, we are going to destroy our entire a devotional life. So we have to be very careful not to see the pure devotee to the material through the a material point of view. And the analogy Prabhupada has given, Srila Rupa Goswami has given, that the person who is a very intelligent, even like when he see the water of a Ganges full of a mud and full of the bubbles due to in a rainy season, but still he take the bath in that water, because he know even it look a little little dirty, but it has the same qualities. It is going to uh, he's going to purify myself. And in a canto 1 in chapter 1, there is one shloka which states that like the pure devotees, when you have to take some the spiritual benefit from the Ganges, then you have to take the bath repeatedly, and for the after using the water for the prolonged time, then you are going to get purified. But when you are associating with the pure devotee, instantly you are going to get the purified. Okay. So then Srila Rupa Goswami says in the text 7 that yes, we are suffering, we are having the typhoid, in a typhoid, when person get the typhoid, he's not going to taste the sugar candy as a sweet, it feels like a bitter. Okay. But when he keeps keep taking the sugar cane juice or sugar candy, one day it act like a medicine, and one day when his disease get cured, he again start tasting that candy very tasty and very sugary, very sweet. So what Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, that like currently we don't have the taste for the holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna, because we are in a disease condition, we are having the material disease. And because of this material disease, we are not tasting it as a as sweet as a sugar. Okay. Because we don't have taste, that's why we say now I don't have time. Like if you have the taste, you will find the time anyway. Like we can see the this boyfriend and girlfriend, like they cannot say na, like entire, even they are busy in their entire day, but they don't say, oh, I don't find the time for you. Like they will adjust, like they will take out some time for that. So similarly, like Krishna is like, our supreme like a boyfriend la, like we all are a prakriti, and like we all are enjoyed by the Lord Krishna. So like we have to take out, we should take out the time for a Krishna. Like as we discussed, the devotees who says that they don't have the time for reading, like before having the each meal, you can take out the 10 minutes, or like 10 minute, 5 minute, or 15 minute. Then in this way, like then firstly you have to read the books, then like you can take the prasadam. So yes, like we are suffering with this disease. So like what is the solution? We have to keep taking. Okay, I like if chanting feels bitter, then also you have to chant your rounds. Like you don't have the interest in reading Prabhupada books, it feel bored, then also you have to continue doing the same activities. Then at the one day when your consciousness get purified, then you will have the higher taste, and you will develop this nectarian taste for this reading, hearing, chanting. Okay, so we have to keep taking it. Then, like what Rupa Goswami is saying, that the natural relish awakens within his tongue, his disease will gradually destroyed at the root. So disease is not going to it's like a who is a good doctor, who who cures the like a disease from the root, and there are some doctors who simply cure the symptoms of the disease. So if it's follow the instruction, then like our material disease will be destroyed from the root. So when we uproot the tree from the root, then it's not going to come again. So like when this disease is uproot, then like this disease not again, there will be no relapse. Okay, so that's why it's said now, like when we go in a Golok Vrindavana, then we are not going to come, because these memories will be with us. Okay, like at that time you have to enjoy independently without the Krishna. Then like you go in a material world and like you suffer badly. So this consciousness will be carry with us. Okay, so we won't we are not going to fall in this material world. So like a process is very simple. Like you don't have the taste because we are the disease. So we have to keep taking the medicine. Okay. Then text 8, what Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, that essence of the all advice that one should utilize one's full time 24 hours a day in a nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and the eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in a Braja, Golok Vrindavana, and serve the Krishna under the guidance of a devotees. One should follow the footsteps of a Lord beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. Okay. So okay, like what is the most important, that we should constantly remember the Krishna. So but our mind, in Bhagavatam it is said na, the one quality of this Kali Yuga people, they are always disturbed. Their minds are always disturbed. They are always anxious. So in this in this anxious state, how they can remember Krishna? So that's why it is very important that we should render the service. We should read the books. We should hear the Harikatha. So we are assisting assisting by doing this, we are assisting to remember Krishna Leela. Okay. And okay, you can chant the holy name, then also you are remembering Krishna. You can read the pastimes, you can read the leelas of Krishna, that also you are associating with the Krishna. So, and how we can engage our tongue, simply by chanting and glorifying the Lord. And the mind, we have to use our intelligence and mind in such a way that we are constantly going to remember the Krishna. And how we have to act, and how we have to serve, we have to serve under the guidance of a devotees. When we are doing some activities, maybe we are doing it wrongly, but when we are in association, devotees guide us and devotees correct us. Okay. And with the association of the devotees, we get the protection. Okay, we get the protection from the Maya. When you give up the association, then Maya, you are very vulnerable to the Maya will catch you. And we have to follow the footstep of a beloved devotees. Following the footstep means you have to follow the instruction. We also seen in the Mukkanmala Stotra, we also seen in the Bhagavatam first canto, even in the first chapter, we are to advance in our spiritual life, to get out of this material miseries, that we must take the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And what Prabhupada says in the purport, like taking the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna means you have to take the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotees. And what is this dust? Means following the instructions. Okay. So yes, so we can move to the ninth verse. So in ninth verse, what they have said, the holy place known as the Mathura. Here is a hierarchy is a given. Na? Mathura is yes, Mathura is superior to the Vaikuntha. Why? Because Lord has appeared in Mathura. Then superior to the Mathura is the forest of Vrindavana. Why forest of Vrindavana? Because a lot of Krishna Leelas like a Rasa Leela, all the pastimes happen in this in the 12 forest of Vrindavana. Okay, and superior to the forest of Vrindavana is a Govardhan hill. Why? Because Krishna himself picked a Govardhan hill, and that too on the left hand's little finger. Okay, and there are many pastimes happen there, and the most excellent place is the Sri Radha Kunda. Why? We also seen in the next next shlokas na in a purport. So Radha Kunda, Srimati Radharani is very, very dear to Krishna. So her Kunda, Radha Kunda is also dear to Krishna. And there are many nectarian pastimes happen or on the banks of a Radha Kunda. Okay. So yes, the one person who is intelligent, then he want to go on this a super excellent place, and he have to practice their Krishna consciousness. So in the 10th verse, what we have seen that Krishna is giving the hierarchy of a devotees. So yes, there are some people who are doing the vikarma. Vikarma means they're not they are against this shastric injections, Vedic injections. They are not following the rules and regulations of the shastra. They are acting whimsically, and they are simply creating the havoc. We have seen the example of Hiranyakashipu. We have seen the examples of Ravana. Okay. So yes, Krishna don't like these people, and so about them are the karmis. Karmis means okay, they are following the rules and regulation, and they are acting they are not following rules and regulation out of love. They are because they want some material benefit. That's why they are following the following the instructions of Vedas. Okay. Then about them are the Gyanis. Gyanis knows that even if I get a lot of material benefit, then also they are going to bind me. These karmas are going to bind me. So I should don't do these karmas. I need to be liberated. So better than this karmis are the Gyanis. Okay, and but Gyanis what Prabhupada write in a purport about the Gyanis. Yes, these Gyanis are still ignorant. Why they are ignorant? Because they don't know the science of the spirituality. They don't have the idea of a pure devotional service. Okay, that's why Krishna also don't like the Gyanis. Krishna also don't like the yogis. But but Gyanis can develop the further attachment for the Krishna. They can start worshipping Krishna. Then when Gyanis take the path of a devotional service, then they become dearer to the Krishna. Devotees, whatever activities they are doing it for the Krishna's pleasure, not for the own pleasure. Okay. So yes, among the devotees, the gopis are the superior, because why gopis are the superior? What Prabhupada says, because they are fully dependent, and they are fully surrendered to Krishna, and they are constantly remembering Krishna. They are constantly in a thought that how they can serve Krishna, and they want anything in return? No, they don't want anything in a return. So gopis are the superior, and among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is very, very dear to the Sri Krishna, and no one can excel Srimati Radharani. Okay. So yes, so all these things are rotating around the Radha Kunda, Srila Rupa Goswami trying to tell us what is the importance of a Sri Radha Kunda. And yes, all what Srila Rupa Goswami is saying here, They're rendering loving service to the divine couple of a Sri Sri Radha Govinda who perform their Ashtakalya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. So yes, like on the banks of a on banks of a Radha Kunda, like this Ashtakalya Leela has happened. That's why like devotees want to stay or like stay at a place of a Radha Kunda and they have to like remember these pastimes. Okay. So now we can move to the 11th one. Like it will simply take the 10-15 minutes. And can you imagine, like we have given almost 1 month for this because this is very important. We all want to advance in our spiritual life. Okay, volunteer to read. Sarita Mataji, can you recite this shloka? Sarita, Sharmila Mataji,
Hare Krishna
anyone?
Mataji, pranams. Shloka or puppet? I'll just try. I don't know. Mataji,
We
let
can also
Sharmila
go to
Mataji.
the purport.
Yeah, I'll go to the puppet. Okay. Krishna's. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Of the many objects of favored delight and 1 second, Mataji. And okay. Of the many objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Vrajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love, and in every respect, her divine Kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kunda is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Purport. Why is Radha Kunda so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is the most beloved object of Sri Krishna. Among all the gopis, she is the most beloved. Similarly, her lake, Sri Radha Kunda, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radha Kunda and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Radha Kunda is very rarely attained, even by great personalities fully engaged in devotional service, not to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of gopis if he once take a bath in Radha Kunda. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kunda, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. That is the most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura writes in this connection that Sri Radhakunda is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of lady friends, Sakis, and confidential serving maids, Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Golaka Vrindavana, by means of attaining their spiritual body, Siddha Deha, should live at Radha Kunda, taking shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha and under their direction, engage constantly in her service. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narada and Sanaka do not get an opportunity to come to Radha Kunda to take their baths. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one gets an opportunity to come to Radha Kunda and bathe, even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna, exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radha Kunda and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all the material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life and the banks of Radha Kunda. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of Radha Kunda and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. It is a difficult position to attain even for the great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radha Kunda. By serving Radha Kunda, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of gopis. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank
Thank
you
you.
Mataji. So yes, So yes, here, Srila Rupa Goswami saying that simply by taking the a bathe in the holy waters, like one's love for Krishna is fully aroused. But is it really happens? Like there are a lot of a lot of people come to the Vrindavana, they are not following the rules and regulation. They are all are engaged in most of them are engaged in the abnormal activities. They take the bath, their sins get all nullified, or on that spot they their love for Krishna arouses. No, like uh, yes, this is this happens now because it will happen when you have the spiritual consciousness, when your senses are purified, and you are also in your what we say you are in that pure state. Then when you are in a pure state, then you are going to see the Vrindavana in his original transcendental form. But currently our senses are not purified, so even we go to the Vrindavana, we see out of the material points of view, like and our Prabhupada says, our Acharya says, you shouldn't stay in a Vrindavana more than 3 days, because when you are going to stay there for more, you are going to commit. You can start committing the offense against these Vrajavasis. So because we are not that much purified, and yes, here Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that when you have to take path, but when you are going to Vrindavana, firstly you have to go with the devotees so that they will guide you and they will protect you from the committing offenses. Okay, so you don't have to take the bath in a Radha Kunda. Why? Because in our sampradaya, yes, this lake is very dear to Lord Krishna, and this lake belongs to Srimati Radharani, and it is not different from the Radharani. How we can place our feet on the Srimati Radharani and how we can bathe. So when we go on the bank of a Radha Kunda, we simply take our beads. We wash our beads in that water. We dip that beads, and we can keep it with us, and we can sprinkle few water droplets on our body, but we don't take the bath. So this is the instruction. Okay, when someone can read this a nectar of devotion, when he go in a Vrindavana, he is going to commit offenses. That's why it is very important. Okay, even if you are reading the Srila Prabhupada books, you should read in a a devotee association. Okay, so yes, and this Radha Kunda is very rarely achieved by the by the devotees, very rarely by the pure devotees. And then what to speak about the a sadhana bhaktas like us? A sadhana bhakti or a Vaidhi sadhana bhakti means we are practicing bhakti by following rules and regulation. Our heart is not we don't have the love for Krishna, our heart don't crave for the Krishna, but we are following the instruction, and simply by following this instruction, our spontaneous love for Krishna arouses. Okay, so yes, you don't have to take the bath, but better is that we have to follow the instruction. And here also we come to know that Srimati Radharani has Ashtasakhis that we see in Radha, in a Mayapur, Radha Madhav and Ashtasakhis, na. And for this and for this Sakhis, there are some confidentially serving maids. They are known as a manjaris. Okay, just like that, Rupa Goswami is a Rupa a Rupa Manjari. Even a Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a Manjari. Even the Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a Manjari. So whatever acharyas we have in our parampara, they all team is from the Goloka. Okay, so we can see how fortunate we are. Krishna's and Radha Rani's own servant has come to reclaim us and take us to the back to the Godhead. So our thing is that they are they are literally spoon feeding us in a form of a book. They have given us everything. We simply have to chew it and we simply have to digest it. So everything is available. We simply have to follow the instruction and we should advance. But we are failing to have the desire to follow the instruction. Everyone simply have to become the instrument in a Krishna's hand, and in Aishwarya Mataji said in that class, in the Bhagavatam one, or in her Bhagavatam class, that directly we cannot touch the fire. Okay, when we directly going to touch the fire, our hand is going to burn. But we can for the a lot of time we can touch the fire through the a wooden stick. Okay, then our hand is not going to burn. So we cannot directly serve Krishna, but this that stick or the medium. The Guru is the medium. When we serve through the Guru, then like we can serve the Krishna. Directly we cannot serve. We are not qualified. Okay. So, like our goal should be that we have to become a qualified instrument in our guru's hand. And like this is the final instruction that you have to simply follow the instruction of your guru. And like how we are going to get the instruction from reading the Srila Prabhupada books, hearing the lectures. And like before applying any instruction, you must consult the senior devotees. Okay. So we can also see from this shloka, you cannot take the bath from our Sampradaya. Prabhupada never encouraged anyone to take the bath in a Radha Kunda. And like from the Radha Kunda, we can like understand one thing that like in Prabhupada Lilamrita, like Prabhupada received the two instructions from his guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So like first instruction is that like you should pre-reach the message of like Lord Chaitanya to the Western countries. And why Western countries? Because like when whatever Western countries learn, like like Indian people and all world follow these things. So when they get Krishna consciousness, entire world is going to become a Krishna consciousness. So yes, so this was the first instruction, and for this instruction, Prabhupada founded the ISKCON. Okay, so like he can spread or preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what was the second instruction? The Prabhupada received the second instruction on the banks of Radha Kunda. And what was the instruction? Whenever you get the money, you have to print the books. Okay, like like when you print a paper, like it's going to stay anywhere. But like when you have the books, you keep it you keep the books for the long time. The books, like it will be hardly like a 300 rupees, 400 rupees. Like a Bhagavad Gita is it will be around the 300 rupees. But like even like if you eat like one pizza, or like if you eat any snacks, or like if you eat anything, or like whatever things you are doing, it's a temporary. But when you keep the Bhagavad Gita, and when you keep inside your home, like if you are not reading, it's okay. But like that book is just so auspicious simply by having the book in your hand, in your home. Like entire home become auspicious. And like like maybe you are not reading, but after the 10 years, like maybe your family member need that book, and they can read. And when they read the books, their entire life will be changed. There are many incidents happen. Like you can go on YouTube and you can search there. Okay. So for this, to follow the second instruction, Prabhupada founded the BBT, Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust. Okay. So like we have the two things, that we have to pre-reach the message, and second is we have to do the book distribution. These are the prime instruction of Srila Prabhupada, and we should help the Srila Prabhupada to fulfill his mission. So whatever gurus we are having, they are trying to fulfill the mission of the Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada is trying to fulfill the mission of his guru. And in this way, this parampara goes on. And what we are doing, we are simply trying to fulfill the desire of Krishna. And what is the desire of Krishna? Krishna want to reclaim us, because we are the sons and daughters of Lord Krishna. Okay. And how can father and mother can see their children suffering? So yes, we are suffering in this world by the threefold miseries. So Krishna and Radha Rani want to claim us back. Okay. So yes, so we can help. Firstly, we have to practice our sadhana very strongly. Then we also help. We also have to help the Srimati Radharani and Krishna through our gurus, that by to reclaim the jivas by doing the book distribution, by preaching the Krishna consciousness. Okay. So Hare Krishna. So today we can end the nectar of instruction here. So from tomorrow we will start the Isha Upanishad. Okay. I hope everyone has take out some instructions. Like how many has it in a classes by taking by having the notebook and pen. Like from the next day, everyone should have their own copy and one pen, because you are not in Kali Yuga we have very less memory. Whatever we are hearing, we are going to forget within the next 10-15 minutes, or till next day we are forgetting everything. So when you are sitting for the classes, at least you should have the one diary and one pen, and whatever instruction you like the most and that you can follow, you can write, oh, I like this point from this class, and then you have to try to follow it and you can revise it. Okay. So Hare Krishna. Today we will end here. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Tomorrow
Krishna.
everyone should
Mataji.
come
Thank you,
to
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Hare
Shri
Krishna
Guru
Mataji,
Okay?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.